Hello, folks. I'm Rehan. I am currently an ecosystem manager at Starkware. If you don't know what Starkware is a developer behind Starknet, which is a layer 2. I think one of the first ZK layer 2s in the ecosystem. That's I'm not going to deep dive into what Starknet is and what Starkware does. But basically, I think I wanted to take today to take this time to talk about at least what I feel AI does enables in the crypto ecosystem and the blockchain ecosystem. um, and this is going to be more of a practical hands down guide of what actually gets unlocked through AI in crypto, rather than a hand wavy gesture of saying, you know what, you can solve this problem, you can solve that problem, in terms of actually what we are doing as well as Sharper. So let's dive right in. um, no, this should be a surprise, but basically, I just wanted to take it all the way back to like what the hell Ethereum's thesis was in the beginning. The thesis was basically to become a world computer, one ledger, basically publicly verifiable. Anyone is able to participate in verification. Like this is the cusp of what Ethereum was and is. However, along the way, we found out that this is not the most scalable or the most viable option for us to get to a world computer. So we changed it a little bit. It came up to world computer, but it's made of other computers in terms of L2s and the sequencers. Many ledgers unified to one master ledger rather than just having one ledger like Solana. Publicly verifiable. Basically you have to publicly verify the master ledger, and anyone is able to participate in verification of the master ledger. But this is basically what Ethereum is today in just plain layman's terms. Now, the issue with this is the fragmentation. I think we can see like 8 logos on the roll up side. There's like 5 logos on side chains. This image seems to be quite dated to me, but I probably think there are like, I don't know, some 30-40 roll ups, 20-30 side chains, some 30-40 channels. And the point here is this is the way you can scale Ethereum, but it's also the way where you have a lot more fragmentation in terms of everything, which we'll deep dive later on. But this is the cusp of the problem Ethereum is facing right now, and we're just going to deep dive into like how we can use AI to solve this. Well, there are a lot of problems, but it's a problem number one. Maybe some of it technical here, maybe not, but every chain that choose to go non EVM, with these days alt VMs are like in the trend. Everyone have a new coding language. There's Solidity, there's Viper, there's Move these days. Starknet has its own Cairo coding language. There are like I think I came across a project that was trying to unlock DeFi use cases using Python. There was a project trying to unlock DeFi use cases using other languages like Rust, and it just so if I'm a developer who just comes into, or like let's say I just graduated from university and I just know like Python and maybe JavaScript, I'm expected to pass through like I'm expected to parse about 10-20 L2s, figure out which language they use for me to build upon them, learn that language, spend like three months in a boot camp, and then I may end up building like a small POC. And if I find out that this chain is not what I wanted to, not what I expected to be, I have to move to another chain. I have to learn coding again. I have to learn their own language, and then again learn coding, and then go upstairs. It just feels like a very broken process. Well, how is it solved today? Well, today you have like teams spend huge amounts. I mean, we at Shakar also do this because we have like Cairo, which is at least in our opinion a better coding language. But hey, we boot camps, courses, big numbers of DevRels, tutorials, hackathons, mentorship programs. All these are non-scalable ways, basically non-scalable ways in terms of onboarding developers, and you're basically forced into this zero-sum game of hey, these are like I don't know some 100 developers. All of these folks are new to crypto now. 10 layer 2s are behind these 100 developers trying to onboard them to their ecosystem. Learn my coding language. Our coding language is better, our coding language is better, our coding language is better. It doesn't make sense. It's like a zero sum game when you should be pushing for getting Web 2 folks in crypto rather than just fighting for crypto people. So that's so basically, so problem number one, very inefficient way of solving it today. Sub problem number two, broken UX. Very cliche and very used up term these days, but that's the reality. I mean, by the way, these images I use ChatGPT for these images. But yeah, this is exactly how at least I felt when I started off in crypto. I had a lot of MetaMask, a Phantom, and Argent, a Bravos. I had like I still have like I think 6 7 wallets in my laptop, and that's something which I don't want. And I also don't know which wallet supports which chain. I have to become like used to this, spend like a couple of months in the ecosystem, stuff which I don't want to deal with, and stuff which basically has a high drop off rate. So if anyone from Web 2 comes to Web 3, they see all these hurdles. If you're a developer, you see those hurdles. You see, if you're a user, you see these hurdles. I don't know. I think the drop off goes up to like 70 80%, and that's not something which either of us want. Either which way, coming to like the broken UX and how it's solved today, you have wallets that are multi-chain these days. You have bridges. You have cross-chain dexes. You have things like Hyperlink and Layer Zero, which have some sort of traction, but the grasp of the matter still remains in terms of the broken UX. I can still go on and on, like sub problem number 4 5 6, like lower efficiency in DeFi, zero sum environments. These days you have walled gardens in terms of like Polygon Ag layer, or like ZK Sync layer, or like having multiple chains under one roof, and then walling them off as like beautiful gardens. All these are very arisen from these problems of scaling Ethereum, which is the layer 2 ecosystem, which is fragmented. Well, there must be a better way, right? As I said in the beginning, I strongly believe AI and artificial intelligence is the way to go about this. It basically, if you look at even non crypto, why is AI such a big hype is the question. Well, it's such a big hype because now my grandmother who's 80 years old doesn't need to do a Google search. She can just go to ChatGPT and type in natural language. Just helps us interact with computers in natural language. Why is it any different? Why is the world computer, which is Ethereum, any different from a normal computer? You can interact with it either which way using AI. That's essentially my thesis. Um, so I've listed out like two bull cases, like the absolute top, which I feel make my case more compelling. Number one is abstraction. Well, you basically, if I can use something like ChatGPT, but it's for crypto transactions, I don't need to know which chain I am on. I don't need to know programming languages. I can just tell it to code for me. I don't need to know which DeFi protocol gives me highest yield. I can just put my money into it, say, you know what, give me 12% yield on a risk adjusted basis on this much amount of money. The agent or the assistant can go out and do it for me, find out which chain has which protocol, which is the most least risky, and just deposit my money in there. Research, like I can probably know which KOLs on Twitter have the highest mindset these days, stuff like that. So basically abstracting all these complexities is like the biggest thing. Basically being able to interact with crypto in a natural language. Example, this is actually one project I am currently following and working with. As you can see, we just gave it a prompt, which is let's make a token where you decide what it's called, what the supply is, code and deploy it entirely on your own. Give me 1% of supply, do it on the base. That's it. I don't need to know which wallet is active on base. I don't need to know how much money I need to have on my wallet. I don't need to know which bridge to use, what the hell, which coding language is used in base. I don't need to know. This is one example, and by the way, this example is live. The demo video, I'll probably share link if anyone is interested. It's live, and this bot is currently working. It deployed this on video. Bull case number two, automation and productivity. I think this is like the second one, which is all manual process like search, analytics, trading. I mean, we all use trading bots since like the past 1 year or 2 years. When Ethereum hit certain price, buy this much for me, blah blah blah. But like even taking it a second level or third level deeper and saying and having complex logic, and like automating that logic is like quite simple using AI. Um, but am I just retrofitting this whole AI thing to like make you feel that I am smart? No. I think the best proxy is just look at Web 2. Um, Claude 3.5 Sonnet, it's able to solve 64% of coding problems. This was, I think, 6 months ago. I hear rumors ChatGPT is coming, new version of ChatGPT is coming out in next month ish, I think. Probably going to blow past these records as well. So I don't know. I mean, Web 2 examples seem pretty solid. So why is Web 3 left behind? Clio, well, basically, it's Clio is a DeFi app. Is Clio is not a DeFi app. Clio is a Web 2 app that helps people manage their wealth. It's a British company, closer to become a fintech. It's been using AI for like I think 3 4 months, 3 4 years now. These guys have been just killing it. Again, another good use case in terms of having an assistant that helps me manage my money. We have to use it in traditional world. We can use it in DeFi world. Why not? Perplexity. I don't know how many of you know Perplexity, but it's basically going to replace Google very soon, is what the founder claims. I use it. In fact, I use Perplexity, I think, to prepare half of these slides. Very, very helpful. Lot of automation happening there. AI generated content and media. I think this is a post which Sam Altman put out 3 months ago. But you can basically create kick-ass videos using ChatGPT. I think the version, I forgot the name. But this is all generated content. I don't need to be a video editor, a graphic designer, whatever. I can just prompt it on ChatGPT. I hope that convinces you. Now the next question might be, well, what are the barriers? Barriers are, I think, the first and the biggest barrier is talent, which is um, crypto looks at AI and says, at least I look at AI and say there's a lot of potential which I can use AI to solve for crypto, and that gets me excited. I've met a few people, but not a lot of people who are actually excited about, who are actually in AI and looking towards crypto and want to work in the industry. And this is something we have to change. I have no answers, but like the biggest barriers are talent. Fundamentally biggest barrier is talent. Everything else is a follow on, like on-chain intelligence, like security, smart contracts, having like piping in off chain, and like getting ZK to prove it pretty easy. Proving Shopware itself has like one of the best provers in the world. So like the follow on are like sort of issues, but not the biggest issue. Like talent is the biggest issue. Um, well, I'm pretty open to like suggestions on like how we can solve it, but this is essentially what I'm beating my head towards for the last couple of months. Whether this is just going and meeting people in AI conferences, or is it just talking to them and understanding and going through referrals. Well, what is Starknet doing about this whole fragmentation thing, and like how are we improving our UX and our chain abstraction? Well, firstly, like we've put together a build station, currently active online hackathon using Brian. Brian is also integrated with Starknet. Helps make API calls to agents on the backend, trading, depositing money, spinning up a wallet, pretty easy. Base as a contributor, a bunch of people are contributing here. You should, if you're a builder, come and contribute. um, Second one is agents. I think this is our agent which went live 4 months ago. This helps code developers pass through documents, pass through our Cairo playbook, our Cairo book, and stuff like that, where you can you don't need to go through documents like Perplexity, but for Starknet. Giza. So Giza is one of the very, very first AI ML projects in the crypto ecosystem. If you can read in the small letters there, it says Web3 and AI from Giza plans to bring autonomous bots onto Starknet by end of June. June as in June 2024. So that's like 6 months ago. So we have bots on Starknet since like the past 6 months, and Giza has been a very, very big contributor of that. They started off as like a ZKML project trying to prove AI models off chain and bring them on chain, but have now also started focusing on agents and enabling those use cases. We've partnered with Ritual. By the way, all this is not a shill. This is more of a. This is what we've done. See if this makes sense for you, and like try to copy it. Like why not copy things, or like why try to do novel things when there are like low hanging fruit. So we've partnered with Ritual. This is very recent, like I think last week or like a couple of weeks ago. Ritual basically is like a coprocessor where computation done off chain can be brought on chain in a trust minimized manner. They have like ZK proofs, optimistic proofs, whatever. I can basically run a Llama 3. I don't know if I can run a Llama 3, but I can at least run a billion parameter LLM on the backend and get the inference on chain using Giza in a very cost minimized way. Heiko currently uses Giza, and it's basically a DeFi application which helps in reversion strategies. Um, yep. Proving, well, I don't have an image for proving, but we basically have like a bunch of provers at Starkware, like Stone, as of now, which is currently in production. Stu is experimental, but I think we've hit like the maximum amount of transaction for the lowest amount of money possible. It goes live in Q2 of next year ish. It's going to be like game changing in terms of having chat GPT on chain. Like how do you get ChatGPT on chain, which basically extremely expensive to prove it, to prove the computation happened off chain and bring it on chain. Hopefully, Stu bridges the gap. Even not ChatGPT, at least like Llama 3 or something like that. Like other stuff like no code tooling, chat assistants, user generated content for games, stuff like that. I mean, Sakrin is very big on gaming, and so one of our cases is around user generated content in terms of not only like written content, but also like more in terms of images and videos. The result is very much a 10x improvement in UX. At least we are on the path there. We haven't achieved it. It's tougher at least, but at least this is something which I hope to happen. Bridging abstraction, improved capital efficiency, no code tooling, games with complex logic. I could have gone on and on. I was just too sleepy, so I just put it down. But yes, that's about it from my end. I kept it very short. Try to make it a bit more non-technical and just give you folks a lot more impact. Happy to take any questions.